The Phoenix Suns, after beating the LA Lakers quite convincingly 113 to 100 and winning the series, have solidified themselves in the second round. The Denver Nuggets too, after an amazing performance from Nikola Jokic again, beat the 126-115 Blazers after an amazing comeback. After this slate of games, the Phoenix-Denver series has been set to play off. Today, I'm going to preview this series and everything you need to know about it.
They be like, yeah. Can you teach me how to dirty? You know why? 'Cause all the bitches love it. All I need is a beat that's super bumpin'. And for you to back it up and dump it.
Leave a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I preview all the series of this playoffs before they start and recap most of the playoff games in 3 to 5 minutes each. Moving on to the video. The Suns have been a much better team this season and have gotten better this year from their previous run. They added Chris Paul, a 36-year-old point guard who is averaging 16.2 points per game, 8.7 assists per game on 49, 38 and 93 splits. Don't let his numbers deceive you. Many people have Chris Paul in the top 5 for MVP and rightfully so. He's a winner and has changed how the Suns are perceived by the general public. He was their only major off-season move and has moved the Suns from a borderline playoff team to a legit championship contender. He's one of the best mid-range scorers in the league and is one of the best clutch players in the league. He's shooting at an absurd 54% from mid-range and has one of the most unstoppable shots in the league, which is a shot from the elbow. One of the most impressive things about Chris Paul's game is his assist to turnover ratio, which ranks 5th in the league. He had a stretch this season where he had 30 assists and only 1 or 2 turnovers, which is ridiculous. He's one of the best floor generals of all time and is doing great things for Phoenix. One of the players who's been greatly helped by Chris Paul is DeAndre Ayton. He had many injuries in the first round against Lakers. He wasn't that great in round 1 predominantly because of these injury scares. But I trust Chris Paul to play well. He had a great stretch in the clutch against the Lakers in Game 6 and prevented their comeback and showed his experience. I think his injury is going to play a big part in this series, but we'll get to that later. Devin Booker has taken a massive jump this season. He has completely eradicated the empty stats narrative, which was dumb to begin with. He was the best player in a series against LeBron James, and that is saying something. He had 35, 5 and 6 on 49, 43 and 93 shooting splits against the best defense in the league. He should feast against the Nuggets because they aren't really a great defense in the backcourt point of view. He also had an exceptional regular season complementing Chris Paul very well. Defensively, he still isn't that great, but the Nuggets backcourt isn't the same without Jamal Murray and he should be able to survive. His shot making, creation and drives have improved so much in this one series, it's ridiculous. He's got to the foul line much more and has been just as aggressive in the playoffs. Him being such an exceptional weapon against the Lakers team gives me a lot of confidence in him. He's become a much better playmaker. The minutes without Chris Paul, which was due to injury, he showed what he can do in the playmaking department. He did struggle a bit, but he did a very good job. He's a better pick and roll ball handler now, taking tips from Chris Paul, and with Ayton also showing up great against the Lakers, this should be a scary duo. Moving on to Ayton himself. Coming into the playoffs, everyone picked the Lakers, predominantly due to their interior presence and the Suns' lack of interior defense. Well, Ayton said, hold my beer. Ayton has been exceptional since the playoffs have started. His offensive defense have both gone up a notch. He was the best big man in the series, which consisted of Anthony Davis. Yes, AD did get injured, but I do believe Ayton was slightly better big man in the games both of them played together. He's shooting a ridiculous 80% from the field on the series and 90% at the rim against big men such as Marc Gasol and Anthony Davis, who are exceptional defenders. And as good as Jokic has been defensively this year, he isn't such a great elite interior presence. He is an underrated rim protector, but not elite by any means. And there's no reason not to believe Ayton is going to have a just as good series this time. Jokic isn't really a great pick and roll defender, and Ayton is one of the best rollers in the league right now. He should be amazing offensively this time too. The problem comes defensively. I don't think he can guard Jokic. To be fair, no one in the league can. He will have to come out to the perimeter much more and have to guard him at the top of the key and at the post, which is no easy job. DeAndre Ayton is high on confidence coming into the series, and I'm looking forward to see how he guards Jokic and if he takes advantage of the Nuggets defense. But here comes the concerning part for the Suns. Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder and Torrey Craig all did an exceptional job against LeBron James. They actually were able to slow him down a lot, which no one expected them to. Granted, LeBron did not look 100%, but a 70%ish LeBron is still a top 10 player in the league. But offensively comes the concern. None of them really shot lights out from three this series. The percentages will say all of them did well, but not exactly. Crowder was cold the entire series until the last game. He's the most streaky shooter in the league and his shot is on and off. But with the amount of amazing offense the Nuggets produce, which the Lakers really couldn't, he will need to hit his shots much more and much more consistently. Cale Bridges and Cam Johnson did shoot quite well, but there haven't really been games where all three of them have shot together well. One of them is usually cold, and I don't really think they can afford that much this series. Moving on to the Nuggets side of things, the Nuggets have been hit by injuries quite a lot. They've been down two starters in Barter and Murray and still haven't been majorly affected by it. And a big reason for that is this year's MVP, Nikola Jokic. Jokic has been having one of the best offensive seasons of all time. According to me, he is the best player in the league right now. His combination of playmaking and scoring put him in a tier above most of the league. His touch with the basketball is unreal, matched only by a few players all time. He's been amazing in all stat categories from traditional to advanced. He's going to be one of the only players in the history to average top 10 in points, rebounds and assists and steals in the same season. He's averaging 26.3 points per game, 11 rebounds per game, 8.4 assists per game on 56, 41, 86 splits in the regular season. Basically, he averaged a near 16-point triple-double on near 50, 40, 90 efficiency, which sounds ridiculous just saying it. And in the playoffs, he's been just as terrific, averaging 33, 11 and 5 on well above 50, 40, 90 efficiency. Nurkic has put in foul trouble throughout the series and no one on the Trailblazers could stop Jokic. Scoring wise, he dominated. When the series started, the players he was passing to weren't hitting their shots. They didn't convert it, which led to lesser assists in the start. His assist numbers increased as the series went on, and that makes him scary. He gets shooters such good looks, they have to hit those shots. And the shooters who's hitting most shots of Nikola Jokic is Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. is a most improved player finalist and rightfully so. His scoring has gone up a lot. He went from 9.3 points per game to 19 points per game this regular season. Since Murray's injury, he averaged 23.5 points per game in the regular season, and in the playoffs, he's averaged 22 points per game, not including Game 4. He's one of the best off-ball players in the league, which is a very rare for a player so young. And him playing alongside Jokic just makes his life easier. His rebounding has also taken a leap. Defensively, he has improved. He's still just an average defender who gets cooked by elite guards on the switch, but he has taken a leap. He was exposed against Damian Lillard, but not many guards can stop Lillard, let alone forwards. He can shoot over anybody in the league and is an amazing second scoring option for Jokic. The strength of this team is the front court. They have arguably the best front court in the league, consisting of Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, and rounding it out, Aaron Gordon. Gordon is another amazing fit next to Jokic. To be fair, anyone who can play basketball is an amazing fit next to Jokic. So Gordon is one of the best cutters in the league and an amazing defender. His three-point shot has been falling this playoffs, which makes him so much more dangerous as he averaged 12.5 points per game and 6 rebounds per game this playoffs. He provides much required rim protection next to Jokic. He isn't as big as a center, but his athleticism and strength allow him to be an above average paint defender. But his most important role is going to be perimeter defense. Against the Blazers, he went on Dame in Game 3 and in clutch situations, in all games but the one where Dame erupted. He did the best job anyone but Ben Simmons has done on Dame this season, and that is saying something. He might switch on to Booker if Booker is going off, and he should do a great job on it. The Nuggets, as mentioned before, were hit by the injury of Jamal Murray and Will Barton being out for a while with no timetable, which weakened their backcourt a lot. But it really doesn't matter. Austin Rivers, Facundo Campazzo and Monte Morris have all hit their threes and played good defense in the series. And that's all they need. Jokic is such a good playmaker. He gets the ball to them when they're open. They shoot 40% from 3 over the series, which is amazing for them. The Suns have a much better defense than the Blazers, but I do believe the Nuggets offense is also going to be better now according to me. Coming to the prediction, I genuinely don't know. I'm very sure this series is going to go to Game 7. Both the teams have exceptional players. Nikola Jokic is probably the best player in the series, but both 2 and 3 are Chris Paul and Devin Booker in whatever order you want to put it. The Suns have a much better defense than the Nuggets. Ayton has taken a jump and will be a great matchup for Jokic. He won't be able to stop him by any means, but should do an above average job on him. Mikal Bridges should be able to give MPJ trouble due to his length and athleticism. On the other side, the Nuggets don't have anyone to throw at CP3 and Booker. Jokic isn't a great pick and roll defender due to his slightly slow feet, and Ayton should have a feast in this paint. The shooters should get open looks due to Chris Paul's brilliance, and they should hit it. I expect Booker to go off this series too. I started off thinking I'd take the Nuggets in 7, but after looking into these teams more and making the script, I think I've convinced myself that the Suns are going to win the series in 6 or 7 just because of their more complete team. Leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. I recap all the series and the players before they start and recap most of the playoffs games in 3 to 5 minutes each. If that is something that does interest you, do subscribe to my channel.